Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Ripto. I'm Christian and in today's video we're going to look at the crypto news. What's been going on this week? We're going to look at Ethereum and what's coming around the corner. Also we're going to look at the Bitcoin price chart and see how that is going into the weekend. And of course we've got some hot topics coming out at the Miami Bitcoin conference. So if you want to know all that cool stuff and more, stay tuned and let's get into the video. So before I jump into today's crypto news, I have to say anything you've guessed it, you see, hear or choose to ignore is not financial advice. No, I'm here for educational purposes only. So I've put a presentation together again for the crypto news, some hot topics that I want to go through, some exciting stuff that's coming on around the corner for Ethereum, the Bitcoin price chart, and of course some news from the Miami Bitcoin conference. So let's jump straight into that presentation. Crypto Ripto news update. So in today's update, we're going to go over market information and in particular the Ethereum big news and the Bitcoin price chart and seeing where Bitcoin's getting rejected and where it's sitting at support. And of course, you know, the Miami Bitcoin conference has been well underway and we're going to go over one of the key announcements that's come out of that this week. So what is first order? So Ethereum. So Ethereum is about to go through its biggest change since its interception in 2015. And billionaire Mark Cuban highlights two extremely bullish catalysts for Ethereum's coming merger. Just like Bitcoin, Ethereum uses a mechanism known as proof of work, POW, to validate its blocks. In this system, miners compete with each other using a powerful computers to solve a cryptographic puzzle. The winners get the chance to validate the following blocks and take home the weighted reward. The one who has the most powerful computer will always have an advantage, and this makes POW an energy-intensive system that can potentially compel environmentally issues. So during the last couple of years, there have been discussions amongst the Ethereum community about changing their consensus algorithm from POW to Proof of Stake, POS. This model is used by several new blockchains such as Cardano, Solana, and Avalanche, just to name a few. In POS, there is no need for power-intensive hardware. In order to validate blocks, interested parties can lock a certain amount of coins in a smart contract. If they validate a dishonest block, they may lose those coins. In December of 2020, the process to implement POS in Ethereum officially started. The next step, and arguably the most important one, is called the merge. At this point, ETH will not be mineable anymore on POS. Will be the only way to validate blocks. According to Mark Cuban, there are two key points that make the merge extremely bullish. On one hand, the environmental impact of the Ethereum network will drop dramatically as a powerful hardware is no longer needed and Ethereum's carbon footprint will almost be neutral, which is a really good sign for the environment, and this will make the environment argument against NFTs, ETH and Web3 irrelevant. With that out of the way, institutions will have a much easier way of adopting this technology. On the other hand, after the merge, ETH's issuance will drop by around 90%. This is an historical change for Ethereum. A 90% drop in emissions is equivalent to 3 Bitcoin halvings, with the EIP 1559 introduced mid last year. Ethereum is burning a large part of the gas fees paid by users to utilize the network. And we all know that gas fees are a killer on Ethereum. If you add that to the 90% reduction on ETH issuance, you will then get a deflationary asset. And we all know a deflationary asset is more valuable. Transition from POW to POS will bring the immense changes to the network and will solve some of Ethereum's biggest problems. The biggest decentralized and censorship resistant computer on Earth will now be eco-friendly and its native token will be deflationary. While the date is coming closer and closer, the merge doesn't seem to be priced in yet. So now moving on to the Bitcoin price chart. Now as you can see, Bitcoin keeps getting rejected around the 48,000 mark and it took a little bit of a downturn and bouncing nicely, as you can see on the chart here, around about the 42 and 43,000 mark. So this is a monumental time because as we know, we need Bitcoin to close really daily candle above 44,000 in order for it to start turning bullish. So in the past 7 years, there has been 30 signals with a relatively high 66% of them notionally profitable through macro factors remain unfavourable. And the broader pattern is still large range of 30 to 70. The current rally may have legs similar to the signal of August 2021, which preceded a rally of 65%. And you can see in the chart here that Bitcoin seems to be bouncing out the triangle nicely, and this could be a massive trend signal for a back retest of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was rejected as it approached the high area around its current levels. The first crypto by market cap could return to the previous lows as it continues to trade in a tight range. The start of Bitcoin Miami Conference 2022 could provide the bulls with some support. The event is usually filled with positive announcements with a direct impact on BTC's price. This we haven't seen as of yet, but we could see this coming up over the weekend. However, the macro factors preventing Bitcoin and other risk on assets to be reached new highs seems to be the regaining relevance. The US Federal Reserve Fed begin its tapering process within expectations, but could turn more aggressive as inflation persists. At the time of writing, Bitcoin trades around about 43,000 with a 5% loss in the last 24 hours and 7 days. Note, a strong dollar though could play against Bitcoin. So finally we come on to a bit of news from the Miami conference. Now, Bitcoin Lightning payments. The Bitcoin instrumental to El Salvador's announcement at last year's conference waxed philosophical on Bitcoin's role as a payment network. So Miami Strike CEO Jack Mallers unveiled a litany of high-powered partnerships for Bitcoin Lightning Network at the Bitcoin 2022 conference in Miami on Thursday, including integration with e-commerce giant Shopify. So this is a massive announcement if they say Shopify could start taking cryptocurrencies with all their payments and websites on the platform. You're going to be able to walk into millions of American storefronts that plug into the payment stalwarts and pay across the Lightning Network. Mallers said Stripe partnered with the NCR, the world's largest point-of-sale POS supplier, and payments firm BlackHawk. Speaking before a packed house in the Miami Beach Conference Center main stage, Mallers, an ardent Bitcoiner and Lightning Network advocate, said King's Gambit would bring Bitcoin back to the payments roots. So as you can see from all that, there is some great stuff happening in the crypto space. Although Bitcoin's been a bit boring and crabbing sideways and keeps retracing down, and them euphoric gains have not quite hit town yet, there is still some great news to be excited about in the crypto world. But as always here on Crypto Ripto, we like to say trade smart, trade safe, and don't get wrecked.